Hello and welcome back to Webcast News, and I have a couple of things to say firstly before I actually get into the video. One, if my voice sounds funny, that's because I have a bit of a chesty cough, apologies for that. And also, the sun has decided to come out today, so I'm at a slightly different angle, but the lighting may be absolutely awful. I don't have the money for personal lights, so I just go off what lighting I have, and at the moment the sun has decided to be really bright. So apologies for that. But firstly, going actually into the news, and we're on to Madeleine McCann, who's been in the news since, you may remember, her disappearing back in May 2007. If you don't know this piece of news, or you have forgotten about it, it happened back in May 2007, as I mentioned before, so you probably have forgotten about it. But Madeleine McCann was a 3-year-old girl on holiday with her parents, her 2 younger siblings, and also a group of family friends who were along with their children as well. This is in a region called Praia de la Cruz in the Algarve region of Portugal. And for some bizarre reason, after the children went to bed, the parents decided to leave the room, go out and have a meal, although the meal was only 50 metres away from the hotel. They said that they kept going back and checking that the children were okay. However, around 10 o'clock that night, when they went back to check on the children, Madeleine was missing. And ever since then, and to this day, Madeleine McCann is still missing. She has not been found. However, now the mother of Madeleine McCann, Kate McCann, has come forward and said that she believes her daughter could still be in the Praia de Luz region of the Algarve, after some research that her and her husband have done. Kate McCann is now an ambassador for missing children, and she has done a recent interview with The Sun in which she told them about the research that she has undertaken along with her husband Jerry. She told them that in her research she found that abducted children were not taken far away from the scene of their abduction. And then going on to say, I've always said Praia de Luz is the place where I feel closest to her. It's all only speculation, but we've learned that that's usually the case. And the parents of Madeleine McCann have always said that they will never give up in the search, and they also want others to keep searching for her as well. You hear all the time about people who have been missing for years being found, and then carrying on to say, we will never give up. You couldn't settle if you thought about giving up. I want an end, an answer, whatever that is. There's always been something rather odd around this whole case, because even back in 2007 when Madeleine went missing, initially Portuguese reports and searches thought that Madeleine had actually died in the hotel room, and that made the parents suspects, but they were cleared in 2008. But it still seems a bit strange to the rest of the case and how things have gone about from there. I think this really gets optimised by the book release that they did back in 2012 on the story of their search for their daughter. They happily released a book for which they profited from because the money went into their search for their daughter. And this is a horrific thing to think. And I may get some abuse for this. But how much of that money was actually used? And how much do they still have and use for themselves? I know that's a pretty horrific thought, but it's just one to put out there. It's not a complete personal opinion of mine, but the whole thing's been so strange it wouldn't surprise me. And the fact that you would even think to leave children as young as 3 years old, and possibly, I think there were kids even younger than that, in a hotel room by themselves, that thought just doesn't cross my mind. Like, why would you do that? And it's now 9 years on, which is a crazy thought because Madeleine is now 13 years old. And on the strange off chance that anyone actually does ever find her, if she's even still alive, there is actually a computer-generated image of what she may look like now, which I'll put on the screen, but it's highly unlikely. That story actually took a bit longer to cover than I thought it would, so I'm going to try and go through the rest of the stories a bit quicker. And firstly is the news of the BAFTAs last night. The BAFTAs is obviously one of the many film award organisations, and it was another good step for Leonardo DiCaprio in his quest to actually finally win an Oscar. He won leading actor for his role in The Revenant, and also the film The Revenant won Best Film. So it's another good step for both the film and for DiCaprio himself. And then, as well with the SAG Awards, which I spoke about 3 videos ago, I think, Brie Larson also took leading actress for her role in Room, so the awards seem pretty set going into the Oscars. I've also linked to the BAFTAs website for the winners and nominees from last night, so if you want to go and check out some of the other awards, you can go and do that. And then there's the joy that is Kanye West's Twitter page, because that just gets stranger. And I think the best way I can put it is, it's been a hive of what the heck? Spanned from yesterday to just about 5 to 6 hours ago at the time I'm recording this, he has managed to say that all memes are wrong. He has announced that he is $53 million in personal debt. He asked Mark Zuckerberg to invest $1 billion in his own ideas, so that he wasn't going to the Grammys unless he was promised Album of the Year. Called himself the Disney of his generation. Said that he was going to make the world dope, whatever the heck that's meant to mean in his terms. Then went and officially confused the life out of everyone with his final tweet in asking if the word bra can be the female version for bruh. Fun thing is, this guy has 18.8 million people following him, seeing that. I think if I had that many followers, I wouldn't want to go this insane. And that isn't all the tweets that he's done in the last span of about a day. So if you do want to check out all of them, well, you can just go and look at Kanye West's Twitter and have a bit of a laugh, really. And I would have gone through all of the tweets in this video, but this video is already long enough as it is, and it would have taken me about half an hour. Yeah, I might be exaggerating slightly, but it would have taken a while. Then in trailer news, a teaser trailer for Season 6 of Game of Thrones has been released, with the official premiere date being April 24th on HBO. And then, you may have heard that Deadpool may have hit cinemas on Friday, and the news coming out now is that it broke a record with $135 million brought in from viewings in the opening weekend. And the record that it took is the most money a rated R film, that's an 18 plus to other people, has taken in on an opening weekend. And that beating The Matrix Reloaded. Yeah, that was a while ago. That made $91.7 million on opening weekend. And then just for fun, the rest of the top 5 go American Sniper, then The Hangover Part 2, and then 50 Shades of Grey, because everyone decided to see that for some reason. Yep, we know the reason. With those films taking in around $85 to $90 million on their opening weekends. And on that note, that is it for today's video. If you have anything to say about any of the stories that I've covered today, make sure you go into the comment section down below and leave your thoughts. Whilst you're down there, make sure you go and hit the like button as well if you have liked the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more videos in the future. And as always, thanks for watching.